Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week, you have the Death card, right? Yes, we always talk about completions, culminations and endings and all the rest of it. What about release? Right? What about the moments at which in life we choose to release something, to really just allow something to go through its natural process of leaving our life, or to choose to release something or to let something go? This could be a very powerful cathartic moment for you where you're choosing to let something go or to stand back from something, to release something that maybe you know is no good for you, or maybe you know is addictive. Now, it doesn't have to be a thing, it doesn't even have to be a person, it doesn't have to be a substance. This could be a thought, it could be a thought process, a thought, a belief system. Something about your life this week is coming to an end. And I kind of feel like this is consciously led. This is about you saying to yourself, okay, you know what? This thought process, this belief structure, this ingrained habit is actually no good for me anymore. It doesn't work. You know, maybe what was once a crutch that you could lean on is now suddenly just a hindrance, right? And it's about really being honest with yourself to say, okay, I'm ready to release this now, all right? I'm ready to let this go, or to let it be. With that said, for those of you that are continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. For those of you that don't know, every year on the 21st of December, I put on a winter solstice alignment activation session. This is the most powerful time of the year to put your to set your intentions for the new year, right? For the year ahead. So if you want to join a whole bunch of like minds and souls to really get into that energy, you can hit the link in the description box below to get your seat. I have two very special guests this year. I've got Heather from Astrology with Heather. I've got Denise from Human Design with Denise. We're going to be talking human design, astrology, numerology, tarot. There's going to be a future life progression session where you get to have a guided visualization to see what 2022 might actually look like for you. I'm really excited to see how this goes. All right, so please check out the link in the description box below. It would be lovely to see you. For your actions and options this week, you have the Hierophant card with the Death card. So, I mean, one of the ways that this could show up, your Hierophant card is about your rituals. It's about the things that you do ritualistically all the time. It's like your day to day, like in some ways. And the fact that you've got this with the Death card, for some of you, this could be about a habit pattern. This could be about a thought process. Because it's the Hierophant card, this might literally be some of you are letting go of a religious idea or a religious ideology or a religious belief. Some of you could be saying, okay, you know what, I don't know, maybe you've been a Christian your whole life and now you decide to start exploring different realms or different energies of spirituality or different applications. For a lot of you though, this does suggest that something on the day-to-day is being changed, is being upgraded in some way, because you're letting or releasing something that really doesn't sit anymore. So let's say you always wake up like half an hour before work, you get ready, and because it's close, you just kind of rush, through the morning, and then you roll into work. Maybe you start saying to yourself, you know what, from now on, I'm going to start waking up an hour and a half early, right? So there's something this week. It looks like it's only going to be a small shift to the daily routine, but it's going to make a really big difference for you over the course of the long run. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Two of Wands, right? So one way that this could show up for some of you, because you've got this, underneath the Death card, when it comes to work, when it comes to when it comes to communications, there are lots of big conversations or big communications that are taking place for you this week. However, because you've got that Death card there, this feels to me like the process of elimination. So some of the conversations that you have this week, maybe you're walking into them with a very clear idea of what you want. And it's like, when you have a conversation with someone, in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, this is what I want or need it to be. And if none of this is fulfilled in this conversation, I know that this avenue, connection path, whatever, is not the right one. This feels like that. It's like a process of elimination. So for those of you that are employed, this could be maybe you talk to the boss and say, look, you know, we talked about my promotion, we talked about me getting more money, we talked about me getting more responsibility or whatever. What's the likelihood of that taking place in a certain period of time? You talk to them and they say, well, you know, the budget this, and actually we're not going to be able to do this, this and this. So in the back of your mind, you're already like, okay, so this has made the decision for me. So there's like this, you know, through certain conversations this week, certain paths or avenues will be closed down for you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's not, in fact, actually, that's a very good thing, because it helps you make the decision without having to really strain yourself. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, similar kind of energy, but this will be about your clientele and or your employees. Like, so the people that you are tied to through your business, right? And for some of you as well, maybe you're wanting to take your work in a new direction and you're trying to figure out who or what you can take with you and what it is that you're going to need to release. Like, you know, maybe you say, I don't know, as an example, let's say you're a cafe and you say, right, we're going to start serving food and freshly squeezed juices as well. And, you know, you've got employees that are like, I don't want to make juices, I don't want to make sandwiches, I don't want to wait on tables. It's like, okay, well then we might have to phase you out because that's the way that things are going. It's probably not the best idea, the best example that I can give you, but it's the best one that comes to mind at the moment. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, again, this is, I think in a lot of ways, this is about you realizing that what you've been doing up until now has served its purpose, but you do need new stimulation now. It's like, okay, now that, you know, I've had my chill time and, you know, I've had a good year off and I feel like I'm, you know, cool, calm, collected and rested, it's time to get back out there. The thing is, this might not necessarily, it might come as a push. You know, so there might be something that kind of shows up for you that kind of gives you that shove to say, right, okay, I need to get moving and do something new. For your love and relations, you've got the Knight of Cups. This is a nice card, actually. So you've got this underneath the actions and options and underneath the Hierophant. This suggests to me that some of the changes that you make on that day-to-day level, for those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, they're greatly received, right? And what I like about this as well, because the Hierophant speaks to your traditional commitments, marriage, you know, parenthood, all of that kind of stuff. What this suggests to me is something that because you're changing something on a personal level on that day to day, it has a really positive effect on your relationship. So maybe this is that you know, maybe you decide, okay, I'm not going to have, you know, 4 glasses of wine after work every night. I'm going to have it maybe once or when I have it on a Friday night so that I can enjoy it. And, you know, my partner's not worried about my health and we don't, you know, like whatever. Just again, just an example. For those of you that are single, I mean, this could be nice. I almost want to say, like, this could be a week where you meet somebody in like a really unconventional place or in an unconventional way. Do you know what I mean? Like, the reason I say this is because the Death card and the Hierophant card can represent funerals. It can represent sort of churches, like places that you go to for, you know, sometimes morbid reasons. Maybe, you know, like, touch wood, that it's not a funeral, but this could be maybe you go to the cemetery to visit a loved one and you run into somebody and you think, oh, you know, you're really nice. Odd place to pick somebody up, but hey, listen, you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? So this is why I say it could be in an odd way, or it could be in an odd place that you're meeting someone this week. That is possible, especially because you've got this 2 of Wands card here as well, which suggests that there's a lot of conversation going on. There's a lot of communication and a lot of decisions are going to be made as a result of what happens for you and to you this week, which is great, right? Because sometimes Librans have that thing where it's like, well, you know, both of these paths are great, so which one do I choose? For your money and materials, you got the Star card. So for those of you that are planning to launch something out into the digital sphere, so whether this is an event, an online event, whether this is a a broadcast, whether it's a website, especially anything that's going to help you reach more people, this is highly favored for you. So if you're planning to start a YouTube channel, this could be a great week for it. If you're planning to, launch or put on an event of some sort, again, very good for it. The star card with money, though, does suggest that the online sphere or the digital sphere will have something to do with your finances. For those of you that are planning to take a punt on with or around the cryptoverse, again, the energy is good for it. The only thing that I want you to be wary of is if you get a hot tip. Yeah, and especially if it's a hot tip that you get from like a gossip rag or something like that. Not something to listen to, all right? Like if you're going to do this, make sure you've, and to be honest with you, with these cards, it kind of looks like you've done your research. But if you're going to do this, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you that kind of advice, but this card bodes very well for that kind of thing, and obviously the tarot cards are having to now take on different energies, different meanings. They're having to broaden their approaches to things, and this really does feel like some of you looking into the cryptoverse. So if you're going to do it, do your research like a proper Libra would, and then when you're ready, get out there into it, right? This is it. What it's actually saying to me is, especially with that Two of Wands, there could be some very lucrative conversations. There could be some very lucrative moves made when it comes to your finances this week. You just need to be able to sort the wheat from the chaff, all right? When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your nervous system. I say this a lot with the star card, but it can also be your skin. It can also be your blood. Honestly, I don't really see any problems here. There might be a lot going on in the mental plane, but other than that, I don't really see any health challenges, if I'm honest. And then when it comes to your home and environment, the star card is an upgrade. Whether this is you're getting a new laptop, whether this is you're buying some, a new techie gadget of some sort. There's new technology coming into the home this week, and it is money well spent. You've got the Death card, which suggests that whatever new tech you're bringing in, it's likely to be because something else has given up. All right, which is, always the way. But hey ho, whatever it is that you're bringing in will definitely do the job. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. And please don't forget to get your seat on the winter solstice. Take care, and I'll see you soon.